As the veil between our world and the next grows thin, we journey into the heart of darkness. Our voyage takes us to corners of the earth where the air is thick with mystery and the echoes of the past still linger. We tread softly on the grounds of 3 locations, each one steeped in chilling tales and unsettling histories. The Tower of London, a fortress in the heart of England, whispers tales of beheaded queens and tormented souls. Aokigahara Forest in Japan, a silent, dense woodland, where despairing spirits are said to roam. And Poveglia Island in Italy, an isolated landmass, its soil reputedly mixed with the ashes of plague victims. These are places where the line between reality and the supernatural blurs, where each creak and rustle could be a harbinger of the unseen. Prepare to traverse the shadows as we delve into the haunted histories of these ominous places. Our first stop, a place where history and horror intertwine, the Tower of London. Nestled on the north bank of the River Thames, the Tower of London is a historic castle with a chilling past. Built by William the Conqueror in the late 11th century, it has served many purposes: a royal palace, a treasury, an armory, and most notably, a prison. But let's delve deeper into the shadows of its history, where the tower's terrifying tales reside. Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, is perhaps the most famous resident of the tower. Accused of treason, she was beheaded on the Tower Green in 1536. Legend has it that her headless apparition haunts the chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula, where she was buried. Her spectral form has been reported wandering the site of her execution, her severed head tucked under her arm. The tale doesn't end there. The tower's grim walls also echo the story of the princes in the tower. Edward V and his younger brother Richard were sent to the tower by their uncle Richard III. They were never seen again. Their disappearance remains one of England's most enduring mysteries. Some say they can still hear the innocent laughter of the 2 young boys, their spirits forever trapped within the tower's ancient stones. There are countless reports of phantom children, spectral soldiers, and even ghostly animals. A place once filled with dread and despair is now filled with apparitions, their stories etched into the very fabric of the tower. Over the centuries, the Tower of London has seen more than its fair share of pain and power. It's a place that has been stained by the blood of the innocent and the guilty alike, a place where the boundary between the living and the dead seems to blur. A place of power, pain, and phantoms, the Tower of London continues to echo with the screams of its past. From the stone corridors of the tower, we now venture into the eerie quiet of Aokigahara Forest. Welcome, dear listeners, to the Sea of Trees, a dense forest at the northwest base of Mount Fuji, Japan, a place where nature's serenity intertwines with an undercurrent of dread, where the silence is so profound it seems to swallow all sound. This is Aokigahara Forest, a place that has, over the decades, gained an unnerving reputation as a suicide hotspot. Here, among the twisted roots and verdant foliage, countless souls have sought their final solace. The Japanese government, in a bid to curb the rising death toll, has erected signs throughout the forest, imploring those who enter to think of their families and seek help. Yet the forest continues to draw those in despair, its somber quiet offering a stark contrast to the bustling life of nearby Tokyo. But this forest isn't just known for its tragic end tales. It's also steeped in deep-rooted folklore, entwined with stories of yurei, vengeful Japanese spirits. The locals whisper of these restless entities, said to be the souls of those who've taken their lives here, trapped in a limbo between this world and the next. They're believed to be filled with such intense anger and sadness that their emotions have permeated the very trees, contributing to the forest's oppressive atmosphere. The eerie silence of Aokigahara is not its only unnerving quality. There's something about this place that disorients the senses. The forest's rich volcanic soil has a high magnetic content, causing compasses to spin wildly off course. This results in travelers losing their bearings, adding to the forest's terrifying lore. The dense vegetation and the labyrinth-like network of trails can easily lead one astray, and there are tales of people who entered the forest, never to return. Aokigahara is a place that embodies humanity's darker aspects, a physical manifestation of profound sorrow and despair. It's a chilling reminder of the mental health crisis that plagues our world, a haunting testament to the depths of human suffering. But it's not all gloom and doom. There are those who work tirelessly to change this narrative. Forest workers and volunteers regularly patrol the area, not only to maintain the forest, but also in hopes of dissuading those contemplating suicide. Their efforts, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness, are a stark reminder of the resilience of the human spirit. Aokigahara, with its spectral tales, oppressive silence, and magnetic anomalies, is a hauntingly fascinating place. It's a stark reminder of the fine line between life and death, a place where beauty and terror coexist, a place that's as captivating as it is horrifying. Every rustle of the leaves, every whisper of the wind seems to carry a story of despair, of loss, of regret, and of the irrevocable decision to step into the unknown, but also a story of hope, of rescue, and of the unyielding will to survive. Aokigahara Forest, a haunting testament to the despair that drives men into the embrace of death. Leaving the whispers of the forest behind, we set sail for the cursed shores of Poveglia Island. Imagine, if you will, a small, unassuming island nestled in the Venetian lagoon, Italy. Its picturesque location belies a dark and foreboding past, one steeped in death and suffering. This is Poveglia Island, a place where history and horror intertwine in a chilling dance. In the 14th century, Poveglia served a grim purpose. It became a quarantine station for those afflicted by the bubonic plague. Thousands upon thousands of the living, sick and dying, were shipped off to this island, their cries echoing across the lagoon. The soil of Poveglia is said to be composed of the ashes of the plague victims, a chilling testament to the scale of death that occurred here. But the island's gruesome tale doesn't end there. Fast forward to the early 20th century and Poveglia is transformed into a mental asylum. The patients, isolated from the world, were subjected to brutal treatments by a doctor said to be driven mad by the island's tormented spirits. The doctor's reign of terror ended when he flung himself from the asylum's bell tower, adding another tragic chapter to Poveglia's history. Over the years, tales of ghostly sightings and eerie occurrences have swirled around the island. Visitors have reported hearing the spectral cries and moans of the plague victims echoing through the ruins of the hospital. Others speak of unseen hands touching them, of cold spots and sudden feelings of dread. The most chilling accounts come from those who claim to have encountered the tormented souls of the asylum's patients, still trapped on the island, forever reliving their suffering. And then there's the bell tower. Although the bell was removed decades ago, some say they can still hear it tolling in the dead of night, a ghostly reminder of the island's dark past. It's no wonder that Poveglia is often referred to as one of the most haunted places in the world. The air is thick with the weight of past suffering, the echoes of despair and death permeating every corner of the island. Even the bravest of souls may feel a sense of unease creeping over them as they traverse its abandoned buildings and overgrown pathways. Today, Poveglia is off limits to the public, its dark secrets guarded by the Italian government. But the tales of its haunting continue to spread, a chilling reminder of the island's gruesome history. Poveglia Island, a place of suffering and death, where the air itself seems to moan in anguish. It stands as a grim monument to the horrors of the past, its spectral inhabitants forever bound to its cursed shores. And as we leave its haunting presence behind, we are reminded that some places are forever marked by their history, their stories echoing through time, a chilling testament to the darker side of human existence. From a tower steeped in blood to a forest of silence and an island of horrors, we've journeyed through places that chill the soul. As we've traversed these unsettling landscapes, we've dipped our toes into a world beyond our usual realm, a world where the macabre and the mundane intertwine. The Tower of London, standing tall and ominous, whispers tales of royal betrayals, beheadings, and ghostly apparitions. Its stone walls have absorbed the screams and pleas of the condemned, and even now, echo with a chilling resonance. Aokigahara Forest, on the other hand, is an eerie silence personified. Its dense foliage hides the sorrowful secrets of the many souls who chose this tranquil wilderness as their final resting place. The whispers of the wind seem to carry their last words, their regrets, their unfulfilled dreams, a chilling testament to the fragile nature of human life. Then we have Poveglia Island, a desolate place that has witnessed the worst of humanity. The cries of plague victims, the deranged laughter of a mad doctor, the spectral figures of the forgotten dead, all are imprinted on this cursed land. It's an island that's seen more death than life, a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs. These haunting tales and histories aren't just stories to send shivers down your spine. They're a reminder of our past, a testament to the darkness that can dwell within us, and the lasting impact it can have. These places, forever tainted by their grim histories, serve as eerie monuments to human suffering and the supernatural. They linger in our consciousness, their chilling tales echoing in our minds, long after we've retreated from their shadows. They serve as a reminder that no matter how far we travel from these haunted locations, the darkness is never far behind. As we conclude this eerie journey, we leave you with a chilling thought. These places exist, they are real, and their stories are part of our world's history. So until our next journey into the unknown, sleep well, if you can.